How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a great week. It's lunchtime for me, but I had to do a quick reaction so I could do a quick short while I'm eating. Oh, it's good. I'm your host, I'm the author, I'm the creator, I am Glenn. TMG Book Series, How to Get Great Dating Outcomes in the Modern World, Parts 1 and 2 are available right now on Amazon, on Audible, and on Kindle. Go to tmgbookseries.com. It's our website where you can connect with all of our social media channels. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you click and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and everything you do. I don't even know why. Let me not say that. Why on horses? Oh, here's where we are. Couldn't take me away. There's no better role. She left a good man at 23, and now she wants him back at 35. Now, 8 at the table is, they got a really big growing following. Make sure you go check them out. This video was posted as of this recording 4 days ago. 8 at the table. So I just want to get her part, and then I'm going to go into my part. So fair use, fair use. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. TMG Reacts.
As again, like you said, that person's mindset didn't necessarily grow over time. Things happen in your life that make you change a little. Things happen in that person's life that makes them change a little more. This time frame has passed, and now the things that have occurred during that time frame have changed the two of you in a certain way. And now you go back into the situation, and you guys don't connect as much as you think. Okay, that situation could have worked out, but because of the time that has passed, you guys are not the same, and you think it's going to work out, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Now I'm a person that doesn't care for toxicity. I used to be a person that loved it because it was fun. I was young. I didn't have a bigger plan for my future. But now that I'm back with you, the toxicity won't work for me. So therefore, this relationship can't work.
This was one of the things Alan.
Sure, Kim. What? I think what she's talking about in this, and this is a good clip. Thanks for sending this to me. I think she's talking about how she dated someone at 23. So she's saying she left a good man at 23. Doesn't sound like he was a good man. That's one. 2, dating at 23, ladies, is completely different than dating at 35. I'm sorry. No one else told you. I don't know where you've been. You've been living under a rock for the last 5 years. This space in particular has really grown with that message. Very consistent across every type of demographic. Your options at 23 are different than your options at 35. And what we talk about here on the TMG Book Series, when we talk about the 6 type of men and women, there are women who are typically city girls, gals, females who finally understand this a little too late. So you were getting attention because attention for women comes pretty easily as long as if you were 4, you got suitors. Because that's just the way men are. In your orbit, you're going to have men who are giving you attention. And so you believe that that attention is eternal, and it's not. It requires much more focus, much more effort around everything that you're doing. And if you're not careful, you'll make buying decisions that are incorrect during this time period. So this young lady's talking about left a good man at 23. Now she wants him back at 35. I think that's the other woman, but I want to talk about this piece. You cannot recycle a relationship. I know social media tells you that you can recycle a relationship. I know that your Facebook message, Boomer to Gen X, is full of people from high school, full of people from college who are now on their second divorce, and that they always thought what could have been. I know. The reality is, if there was no social media, you would never see those people ever again. So since that is true, why are you entertaining it? We talk about it in part 2 of the book. I've done a couple podcasts where we're mentioning what's going on in chapter 5 of part 2. The first thing that I tell people to do in order to reach the goals that they've set for themselves with a relationship outcome is to stop entertaining. And that is people and programs. Too many times we're entertaining people from our past, just like this woman has discussed, and it leads to a poor outcome. Who you dated in high school, you are a completely different person, especially at 35, ladies. Men, who you are at 35 is completely different than you were at 23. It better be, especially if you follow what we talk about here. You put your head down, you spend 15 years developing your craft and your skill. You have a high value skill, you've received a promotion, you've received some recognition, you're over people, you're over major projects. You ain't got time to go back. Let me hear this again.
Again, like you said, that person's mindset didn't necessarily grow over time. Things happen in your life that make you change a little. Things happen in that person's life that makes them change a little more. This time frame has passed, and now the things that have occurred during that time frame have changed the two of you in a certain way. And now you go back into the situation and you guys don't connect as much as you think. Okay.
You guys are going back to the situation because of the scarcity and lack. Stop going back to situations because you think this is my last shot. If you were with someone at 18 and it didn't work by the time you're 25, do not go back because you're completely different. You were with someone at 28, do not go back to them at 35. What are you doing? You mean to tell me, with all of the perceived options that you all have, men, women, that you got to go back? And trust me, generationally, everybody went back in our generation. I want to see what this is all about. Oh, I feel like we missed our window. I feel like you might have been my person. Because we made such bad decisions along the way, the thing that ended that didn't end with too much toxicity, we're like, well, maybe I can give that a chance. Other people seem to see value in him or her. Why can't I? I should be able to see the value. And so you end up hyping yourself up incorrectly about something that doesn't really matter. I wonder how old she is, but I just love how in this space right now, I got 20-year-olds talking about high value status, and I got 30-year-olds talking about teaching the next generation. You don't start teaching the next generation until you're 40. I'm sorry. You can be a youth pastor, you can be working in a community center, you can be a social worker. That's your job. Impact, listen to me now. Impact requires a result. And a lasting result, a lasting, identified, verifiable result. If you ain't got the relationship outcome, if you ain't got the business, if you ain't got the checking and savings, if you don't have the discipline and the mindset shift, you don't need to be out here on these podcasts. You're doing a disservice to the body, there it is, by out here spewing. And quite frankly, I'm glad she's come to this realization. She came to this realization, I believe, a little too late. She probably had one or two instances where she ran back and did a recycle relationship. And now she's sitting here like, oh, it ain't good.
Okay, that situation could have worked out, but because of the time that has passed, you guys are not the same, and you think it's going to work out, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Now I'm a person that doesn't care for toxicity. I used to be a person that loved it because it was fun. I was young. I didn't have a bigger plan for my future, but now
I don't understand the love for toxicity. Somebody's going to have to help you there. I am really lost with the last 4 generations on this. It was fun. It was exciting. Now I'm not the type of person who has time for toxicity. You absolutely are the person who has time for toxicity. Let's continue.
now that I'm back with you, the toxicity won't work for me. So therefore, this relationship can't work.
This was one of the things Alan told me, which I thought was like so great.
All right, I found the part I wanted to talk about. That's all that matters. TMG Reacts. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Let's keep it going. So I finally found the point. So the woman right here in the pink sweater, I found her information. She is actually a therapist. I don't know if she's licensed, but she has said a couple of times throughout this video, client. All right. But I think they want to talk about, we want to resume the conversation, about doubling back, recycle. So don't double back, don't recycle, don't reuse, don't rehash, don't reduce, don't do any of that stuff. So let's see what they're saying.
What was the one thing that was pulling you back personally into that older relationship?
Just the vibe.
Loneliness.
Damn.
Just the vibe.
I'm just.
Oh, the loneliness.
It was.
Didn't I say that earlier? I was like, people just get lonely. Scarcity and lack. But she said something that was key to vibe. What the hell does that mean?
My heart wasn't aching to go back.
I don't get lonely.
Like I didn't like.
I don't get lonely like that. But she's already doubled back to the vibe.
Isn't that bad, but I was just like, all right, I'm real bored.
Wow.
He not even texting me no more. Like, all right, I'm gonna text him. Let's see what's up.
A lot of
Let me see
times
if he
our
missed-
partners be our best friends. Like we talk every single day, multiple times a day. Like you
A friend. Everybody needs someone to vent to, someone to talk to, someone to, complain to, whatever. I think that's when you have somebody that's there all day. You guys can, you can complain about everything.
So you ladies never wanted to go back to an ex?
But see,
because
I think I was more busy because I don't even remember like feeling lonely. Like, oh, I want to just talk to somebody because I'm
Just tearing him up. She interrupt every time. Ugh.
lonely. I'm just like, I can't even really remember ever being like, oh, I'm so lonely, I hate it here. I don't know, like
So my
that's
question
one thing
is,
that I just personally can't really
none of you ever was like, hey, maybe I might want to consider giving my ex a second chance or a second stab at it because they were a good person?
I mean, good person doesn't.
They all do. But she's about to tear this up. I can already tell.
Mean good relationship.
Well, they were a good person, and maybe you did have a good relationship. I'm just trying to figure.
By definition, math, for the math that ain't math. If they're a good person and it was a good relationship, why didn't you break up? They'll tell you why they broke up, because it's gonna be something stupid or petty, like they height or their money. Height, money.
Figure out, did you have a good relationship that met some type of obstacles that led you to split up, and then maybe you thought about like you should give another stab at it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I told you there's one situation, yeah, but I just,
Because you said the vibe, but what is the vibe? Like, what was the vibe that made you say, hey, I should give this
we
another
had
chance?
we had a good mindset together. We both had the same goals, and we felt like we, together we were just like, we complimented each other even when we would go out.
Okay. So the vibe is we complimented each other. We had the same mindset and the same goals. If this is a good dude, why did the relationship end?
We would always get compliments like, oh my God, you guys look great together, like that shit feels good, you're with someone, you
Okay, city or female says stuff like that. Oh, that feels good when I get compliments out in the street from strangers. This is why we say get off social media, gentlemen. This is why we say once you get out of the matrix of social media, you start to see this stuff clear. I'm sorry, social media ain't free. It costs something. And it's costing you your privacy. Right now, I know who's watching this video. I know how long you've watched the video. I know what comments you were about to type. It's all superficial and made up. And making decisions based on things that are superficial is part of the problem in modern dating. And that's why you all are miserable. Take it from me, an old man, bald-headed man with glasses. It ain't worth it. Know who you are, know what you want, know what you qualify for. And with who you qualify for, know what they want from you.
You work out together, you have the same goals, you want to go certain places together, you have a similar mindset, and in a way that makes you.
I like the thing of mindset. I don't like the superficial stuff. We look good together. That screams female or city.
Be like, yo, I miss that. I miss being with someone that gets me.
let's start with the
drink.
ladies, okay?
Oh boy.
We're starting with who?
The ladies.
Wow.
In terms of delusionality, I just made that a word up. It sounds good. Okay.
Okay, I don't even know what just happened there. That wasn't edited. That just switched. So I think it's going to talk about delusion. So, thank you for joining us. TMG Reacts, Glenn, I'm your host. Click and subscribe. Very easy. So if you're just joining us, or you caught a clip of this, this is 8 at the table. And there's a host, and then there are 3 guests. And it looks like 1 guest is an expert, and 2 are influencers. That's just what I'm gathering from this. I didn't really want to talk about the delusion, but when you have the headline, left a good man at 23, now she wants him back at 35. That ain't really the headline. That's more clickbait. I get it. But where are we so far? Do not recycle, do not rehash, do not retread. Doubling back, as it was called here, which is not a term that I will make sure that we're good to go. Doubling back is not a term that I would use. And the reason that I would not use that term is because you have to have, that has a more passive approach. You gotta have the approach in which I am actively making a decision. It takes an active mindset to recycle. And when you recycle, you're making the conscious effort. Let me take off the plastic, the paper off the plastic bottle, remove the top, remove the little ring thing, and then put it in the right container. Recycling takes effort. You don't accidentally recycle. You don't even accidentally recycle if all you have to do is throw it in a bucket in your garage. You still have to be intentional about sorting it, because most companies that do recycling here in North America require you to pre-sort it. And if it's not pre-sorted, guarantee half of that stuff is ending up in the landfill. So it takes a conscious decision and it takes intention in order to recycle. She wanted to talk a little bit about the delusion of women. I don't, that's fine. The delusionality of women is what she said. I don't really want to talk about that. We've done enough studies and we've done enough work around the delusion for both men and women in the dating space. And I can just say it's equal on both sides. Women typically are looked at for looking at income and height or something with physical. Men are looking for physical and personality. And so based on where they are, they make an assumption of what they qualify for incorrectly. So, want to know what you guys think? Let's go ahead and take some time. Click the like button. Make sure you leave a comment and let us know. Should you be recycling? Yes or no? I'm your host. I'm the author. I'm the creator of Blend, TMG Book Series, How to Get Great Dating Outcomes in a Modern World. Thank you for joining us at TMG Reacts. We'll talk soon.